Good morning, Marcine.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Absolutely, it's our pleasure. So, to the viewers, Marcine is an artist. I would say a great artist. If you see her work, she's the owner of Artwork by Marcine, and she's located in Piscataway, New Jersey, and of course, making a big part of the Middlesex Review, as she is living within the Middlesex County. So, Marcin,
Yes.
I would like to start our conversation about, asking how did you come to this business? When did you start this business?
Sure. When I was in graduate school, I started making my paintings were getting larger and larger. And when I'm saying large, I'm saying, oh, like 8 feet by 6 feet. And then at some point I was just taking canvas and putting them on the wall. And I was
Right.
becoming more and more interested in textures on walls. And often I would travel through the streets of New York City because that's where I went to graduate school. And I would just look at all of the walls that had billboards and posters peeled by layers and layers. And so that's really, I think, what was started my interest in migrating to murals. Once I finished graduate school, I started teaching and I started picking up projects where I was painting on the wall. I found it very interesting that I could actually, get some side cash doing this. And I was making people happy, that was always one of my goals with my artwork. I always wanted to make people happy so that, when they saw my stuff, they would be, just brought to a different place. And so little by little, I started picking up more and more projects. And then fast forward to 2004, I already started, and I had to make a choice. Was I going to teach or was I going to pursue this business? And although I really do enjoy teaching, I love being around little children. I was missing being in the paint or just making myself messy and getting things on the walls. So that's where, I made my decision. And, there have been roller coaster flows, just like with any business. So I've learned because I didn't go to school for business. So, artists in business, we kind of have a love-hate relationship because we don't like structure, but yet we have to have structure. And there are things that have to get done and we don't like doing that. But, again, it's just, I love doing different things all the time. I'm never, ever, ever doing the same thing. And I've worked for all different kinds of people in all different kinds of places throughout New Jersey, even into Pennsylvania. I've done some upstate New York projects. It's like, I love it because it's always a change.
That's wonderful to see that you have gone through a long journey and crossing different paths. And I'm sure you would have learned a lot throughout this way how to craft different types of arts. So when it comes to different types of arts, what type of arts do you do? So do you have a particular type that you stick to, or do you? I know you said you try different things. Would you like to talk about it?
Sure, sure. Well, my business is actually divided into 3 parts. So I do murals, which are paintings generally on the walls and ceilings. I do wall finishes. So I will make a wall look aged, or will make it look like it's brick. And then I do canvas art, which lately it's been migrating where things are combining from the murals and the wall finishing part, and it's being integrated on the canvases. I do making things look realistic. I like a particular type of art called trompe l'oeil, which means to fly. But I don't want to be pigeonholed into that. So I kind of like combining things where it's representational and it may pop out off the wall or something like that. But that seems to be where my my interest is where it's headed. Um, not to say different clients want different things. So sometimes I'll be asked to do a mural that maybe is less representational. That's fine. So I don't want to lock myself particularly, but I must say at the end of each project, it winds up looking more realistic. So that's what I.
That's nice. That's nice to have a variety. Makes you open to different people with different interests. So that's always nice. So are you the only business owner, or do you have partners in your business?
No, I am a one-person business. So when I'm not painting, I'm meeting with future clients. So I'm showing them my portfolios. And then when I'm not doing that, I'm doing social media stuff because, don't forget, I started business when all we had was yellow pages. And now here we are in, the digital age where everything is on this computer and it's being sent to everybody all over the world. So that's been a huge learning curve for me.
Absolutely, absolutely. I can definitely understand.
I'm
So
still learning and still making gobs of mistakes with that, but
yeah,
it is
that's
what it
how it is.
keeps
Learn and
going.
grow. So, Marcin, do you have a team with you to do this work, or are you doing this solo?
I do it solo, and I explain that to my clients that what I do is really a boutique service.
Right.
So if you're the client, with you, I listen to what your needs are. Some marketing people call them pain points. In other
Mhm.
words, what gets you perhaps stressed out. And, my job is, hey, look, we're not going to make this stressful. The world is stressful enough. So I take away that stress. I will give looking for, I will show you other things. Sometimes clients say, oh, you're showing me too many options. But the point is that, being what I do is completely custom. So that means anything is possible. And it's me. It's me. I show up, I do the work, I clean up. If you want to make any changes, I'm the person that you answer to. Some people want a team because they want it done super quickly, and that's wonderful. But for me, I like to take my time because I'm a perfectionist, and I want to make sure that the client gets exactly what he or she wants.
Nice. When it comes to perfectionism, that makes one of us. So I'm in the same boat with you. So that's great. That's great because sometimes entrepreneurship comes with uh, taking care of everything by yourself, but in more effective and efficient manner. So I think you're nailing that really well.
Why, thank you. Thank you very much.
So you're welcome. So Marcin, I wanted to ask this question. When you launched the business, you might have gone through some challenges. You want to name some?
Oh, okay. So challenges. Um, I took a business class, so that kind, and it was catered to opening up a business in New Jersey. And I'll never forget the gentleman who taught that class. When we walked into the auditorium, he said, "First of all, I want to tell you, I think all of you are completely nuts for doing this." And, I laughed at him, not knowing that what he actually said were pearls of wisdom, because in New Jersey, there's so many regulations for small business. And I think that has been my primary challenge. So every year, and the person who's at the other end of the screen may not realize it. So every year for me, I have to apply for licensure. I have to, go through this whole registered agent thing because I'm an LLC, filing quarterlies, filing all of those things that are the behind the scenes of operating any business. So that's been the primary challenge. And I think the secondary challenge is, really my tribe, finding people who are looking for things that I do. So honing in on that niche, that's been my secondary challenge. And yeah, that's pretty much my two main challenges, is just
Right.
running a business
Right.
and then, finding my tribe.
Right. So I know that is always when you get started, there's always a lot to learn, a lot of new things into forming a business. So we completely understand, but I think you have gone through those hurdles really well, and that's why you are here today. So, so
Well, I think everybody has their challenges, and
absolutely
I'd also like to add, with this pandemic, things have been really, I want to say roller coaster is the best description, because you can have all of these projects lined up, and then all of the sudden, they can all be delayed, and that creates another challenge.
right,
So it's just, for me, I just want to keep moving ahead, keep doing things the way, that they need to be done while making people feel comfortable. So, I just tell people, whatever it is that makes you feel comfortable, just let me know. So for some clients, I've actually worked in their homes. They've been in another part of the space, and I will do FaceTimes and show them done. I'll text them, I'll send them picture updates, and we've done it that way. So, I think the key is to really have flexibility.
right, absolutely right. So, and uh, I just wanted to also ask you, you said COVID has been challenging to you. So, with the gradual opening, has things been more, much better for you?
Well, I have to say that I've worked throughout this whole thing, and used the lockdown as an opportunity to go into commercial spaces when they weren't open. And generally, the owner would give me a key, and I would let myself in. And again, it was, the whole FaceTime thing where I would touch base with them. So that was okay.
Right,
And the whole reopening, the problem was, people had a cash, how can I put it, like deficit. So they weren't able to pay for things like this. They wanted them done, the money wasn't there. So, a lot of things have been put on hold or delayed.
right,
And, I've taken on outside projects, and I hate using that word pivot because it's such a
right,
cliche term.
right,
But I'm doing more outdoor murals and things of that nature because people are spending more time outside.
right,
So it's just, again, you just have to be flexible and be understanding,
right.
and be empathetic, because it's always important to try to put yourself in the other person's shoes to get a feel for what they're going through, and that really
Absolutely,
puts a perspective on things.
absolutely. That's very nice. Uh, and so the other important question we always ask is, now that you are slowly easing out with the pandemic, easing out at the same pace, right? Uh, what do you expect from your business in the next year to 5 years time?
Well, my goal is always keep that funnel busy and full, so that it generates, qualified leads for me. And so that's really what I want to keep seeing. I would rather see less of a roller coaster, and if I can use an analogy, more of a ship being on the water, just sailing through. So I'd like to see it more smooth, and that would be my goal. And in order to do that, I'd like all the good people out there to look at my website, see what I do, see if it resonates with them, and give me a call. We can have a longer conversation.
Right.
So that's my goal, and to I guess streamline my social media to make things easier for me, just to get what I do out there. And just the goal for me has always been to simplify, 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 because in the end, it just makes things smoother.
Yep.
So
Totally agree with you. That's a great goal, and it's an achievable goal. So, so Who is your ideal customer?
I have two. So I have a residential client is my ideal customer, and I have a commercial client because I do both things. Residential client, it's a man woman. She or he is generally, I want to say, like in their 30 to 60-year range. They're overwhelmed. That's usually their pain point. They don't want to have to do this thing, the thing, as a stressor. They just don't. They don't want to deal with it. So it's just an added thing for them. So they call me and I come in and, I'm kind of listen to them and then organize their pain point or simplify what makes them stressed out. And we get to the root issue
Right.
and I solve it for them. So it's generally my client. Now, that client could be an expectant mom. It could be somebody who, has always wanted to do something in a space, but didn't know what to do, or might have had a challenging space and just it's always been empty, that kind of thing. I also get called to come in and do repairs. Like, believe it or not, people have wallpaper. They don't want to tear down all that wallpaper, but maybe a contractor came in and scratched it or put a ding in it, and I come in and I fix it. And it just, it takes the weight of something else off their shoulders. They don't have to look at it. They don't have to worry about it. It's done. Commercial client, again, man or woman, but more often than not, it's been men. It's been a stressor for them. They want to put brand space, but they don't know how. And they want to do something unique because they appreciate things that are done by hand.
Right.
And so that's my ideal commercial client. And he or she go to it, and I'll come in and check on it. Or, if you have any questions, give me a call, and they leave me alone. That is my ideal commercial client. So this way I'm allowed to come in, I do my thing, and I'm done.
Absolutely. That makes total sense. You're a problem solver, you're a go-getter, and you're a go-giver, which is very important. And like you said, if somebody wants you to solve their problem and they can sit back and relax and do their thing, I think that's the most important thing somebody will expect from a business owner. So thank you very much. It's a beautiful story, beautiful explanation. You answered a lot of questions that I had lined up in your answers. So I really appreciate that, Marcine. And as the Middlesex Review, we want to wish you the best, and we will be with you throughout.
My pleasure, and I wish you much success in 2022.
Thank you so much.